Hello, and welcome to the Freed Black Girl Podcast. This show is a guide to self liberation, pulling the curtain back on healing through the power of storytelling. This show is dedicated to any and everyone doing the work to free their inner child, and for those with a desire and not quite knowing where to begin. My name is Najma Ahmed, and I am the host and creator of the Freed Black Girl podcast. I'll take you on my own journey to liberating the little black girl in me. Thank you for coming along on this ride to our collective freedom. Because as Fannie Lou Hamer said, nobody's free until everybody's free. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this special bonus episode, really focusing on what does it look like to be the change that we seek when we think about manifestation. We had the episode on freed abundance a few weeks ago, and we talked about being in that space of manifestation when you are really thinking about what it is that you want to call into your life and believing that those things can truly come into fruition. So over the last a few weeks, actually a few months or so, I've been just thinking more so about what's next for me in my work, in my life. And as I talk to my coaching clients, I talk to friends, just people in general that I am interacting with, and it feels like we're all the people that I'm talking to and connecting with in this space of really reevaluating what's out there for us. What is it that we really feel connected to? What are the things that maybe we've never seen before, manifested by anybody else in our lives and our families, in our immediate community, but we just feel drawn to something else. And we may not even know what that something else is. And so I've kind of been through this stage before when I was leaving my old job 3 years ago and starting my own consultancy, the Chisholm Group, that I've been leading for 3 years now. It's crazy. It was the end of December 2021 when I was starting to really head out on my own and fully launched in January of 2022. So getting to this 3-year mark, I started to think about, my career in general, that I, um, at all of my past roles that I had, all the other positions that I worked in, I never stayed in a role more than a year. I usually got promoted. And typically never stayed at an organization longer than 3 years. The 3 years was the longest that I'd ever worked anywhere. And that was actually at my last job. I was there for about 4 years or so. And so as I'm in this space now, I realize that I'm getting that kind of 3-year itch that I've been doing this consulting. And the consulting was an offshoot of essentially what I was doing when I was working full time in my last role. I've been able to, make my own changes and do the things that I really enjoy. But at the foundation, my consulting work, the things that kind of pay my bills, my quote unquote day job, um, it's similar to the work that I was doing in my whole career. It's what I've known. It's what I'm good at. I don't even really have to think about it anymore. Really complex, challenges. And because I've been working on it for so long, as I said, it's become essentially second nature to me. And so, not necessarily feeling as challenged as I would like, not necessarily feeling like this is it. I've been doing this for so long, starting to think about, well, what else could be? What are some other things? As I work with my coaching clients, I talk to them all the time about, what are those things that bring you joy? What are the things that you're passionate about? When you think about, what you're providing, what medicine you're providing to kind of the greater good, what does that look like for you? And so I started to ask myself those same questions. What does it look like for me? What do I want? And so as I started to answer those questions and then understand, okay, well, what are the resources that I need to bring this into fruition? Then I started to go after those resources. And one of the things that I hear often about why people don't want to be an entrepreneur is the need to constantly have to go out and, pitch yourself, to apply to things. It's like applying to a job, but multiple times in a year. And so we know how stressful that can be when you're seeking opportunities and essentially what is a perceived series of rejections, right? And so having to put yourself out there in that way is not an easy thing. And again, as we talked about in the Freed Abundance episode, with the understanding that oftentimes Black women in particular are locked out of these particularly financial resource opportunities that I was going after. And so, but in understanding abundance, felt like, okay, I'm going to manifest this thing. This is this particular opportunity felt like it would be um, in alignment, would allow me to do a lot of great work. And as I share with you all a lot about my wins, that was another reason why I wanted to do this episode, because I wanted to share what it feels like when it's not necessarily a perceived win, when you get that rejection email and those feelings, because that happened. It was something that I had applied to and just found out recently that I didn't receive the funding. And in the past, I feel like I would have spent time really thinking, well, why didn't I get it? What was wrong with my application? Or even thinking about like, the process is unfair and any number of things, any story that we tell ourselves in these moments when something doesn't work out how we thought that it would. But what came to me this time was this sucks in the moment, right? Like, ah, man, like I was really looking forward to this. I really felt like I could have been in alignment with this opportunity. I felt like as I'm learning, the power of manifestation, I was thinking about it. I was, thinking this is something that's for me, this is mine, really calling it in. And so when I didn't get it, I had that moment where, like I said, I was like, "Oh man, this I really wanted that opportunity." But then I listened to my body. My body felt calm. It didn't feel that triggering feeling that I would feel before, that anxiety, that questioning, that wondering. And then I just started to think about, well, what am I supposed to learn from this situation? So I had a conversation a couple of days ago before finding out that I didn't get the opportunity. And it was a really beautiful conversation. It was like a healing circle dinner that I went to. And somebody was talking about this idea of embodiment. Um, when we think about the lives that we want to live, are we embodying the things that we're calling in? Are we embodying the qualities that are needed to hold the things that we are manifesting? And so that stuck with me when they said it. And so then fast forward a few days later when I got that email and found out that I didn't get this opportunity, I started to ask myself, what would have happened if I opened that email and it said that I did get the opportunity? What would my next steps would have been? And I really had to be honest with myself. Something as I'm healing, something that I tell people, that radical honesty is critical. And radical honesty with yourself. And so, in all honesty, if I would have gotten that opportunity, I would have figured it out. But I have had so many other things going on because abundance. I just got 4 other new contracts that I just recently onboarded, and I'm offboarding 2 other clients, and then I really don't wanna work in November. My goal has been for the longest that I would like to take off in November and December. If I would have gotten that opportunity, that would not have been the case. I would have been, really in kind of a flurry of activity. There would have been a lot of things that needed to take place in order to stand up, that new project, and also, I was tired. I have been doing a lot of emotional healing work. I have been releasing a lot. And I've also been in this space of just remembering what it feels like to enjoy life, getting back into my piano lessons. I got a new bike, going outside, riding my bike, building community, finding, and building new friendships, connecting with my family, just all of these other things that have nothing to do with the work, the tangible work that we think about, how we're bringing in financial resources, but all of these other things are also enriching to my life. And so that was the first thing that if I would have gotten the opportunity, it actually was not in alignment with what I want right now. What I want right now, as I said, is this easefulness as we're thinking about the seasons, as we're going into the fall. Really being able to focus on what I have going on right now, but getting it into a place where I can go rest, where I can reflect, where I can allow these old things to die away as the leaves do as we look at nature. That is the season that I'm in. And so, an analogy, I love a metaphor, I love an analogy, but something that came to me was think about it in this way. When we think about manifesting, when we think about opportunities that we think are perfect for us, when we're wondering, when is my time going to come? When are the things that I want, when are they going to find me? Why do they keep missing me? Why do I keep missing these opportunities? And I do it, I get into those moments sometimes. We all do it. It's human nature. And so the analogy that came to me was think about it like this. You've been walking for miles and miles and miles. You're in kind of this rural area and you're hot, you're tired, you're trying to get to your destination and you're like, "You know what? I'm going to manifest that a bus will come. A bus will come and pick me up and take me to where I want to be." And you keep kind of walking, you're moving a little slow because, like I said, you're tired, you've been through some things, but you're still moving forward. And in this manifestation, you see kind of down the road, like, oh, there's a sign. There's a sign that said that there's a bus stop ahead. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I manifested this bus. Okay, so the bus is on its way. And the sign, it says that the bus stop is about a mile down the road. Okay, I can make a mile. I can walk a mile. And so what we do oftentimes as we're walking and moving towards this bus stop, what do? We turn around and look behind us and we look to see, is the bus coming? I think it's coming. It said it's coming. What time is it going to get here? Like, I wish it would hurry up. In the meantime, the bus stop is still a mile down the street, but you're looking behind you. You're still waiting. You're still checking and double checking to see if this bus is really going to come through. And in the meantime, as you walk along the journey, you don't see this yet, but there's a station in between where you are, where the bus stop is, where you need to get your bus pass, where you can get some water, where you can stretch, all these things, but they're along the journey. But you're still stuck back here, looking behind you, waiting to see if this manifestation is coming through. And then all of a sudden you see the bus coming. And you're like, oh my God, there it is. I see it. Oh my God, it's beautiful. It's big. It's coming here. It's gonna take me where I want to be. And then you remember, oh snap, it won't pick me up right here though. I have to be down at the bus stop. And at this point, maybe you could sprint and get there and drag all your stuff along with you. and be out of breath and disheveled and chaotic. And maybe you can get the bus driver to stop for you so you can hobble onto the bus sweaty and stuff, but you didn't get your bus pass yet. You didn't get your water. You didn't get prepared. You don't got your bags all together and in order and walking on the bus in an intentional way. So then the bus passes you. And so you're standing and you're looking, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I missed the bus. And then you breathe though, because you realize the bus stop is still there. And if you manifested one bus, another bus can still come. But now you can take your time because you're tired. And also on your walk, you got jumped by anxiety, you got jumped by taxes, you got jumped by the world being on fire, you got jumped by a genocide, all these other things. And so you can kind of get your feet together. You can take a breath. You can get that water. You can get that bus pass. You can handle that business that you need to handle so that when the next bus comes around, you'll be ready. You'll be able to approach it, like I said, in an intentional way. Who knows? When the last bus came, because you were rushing, maybe if you would have caught that bus, maybe you would have tripped and busted your face when you got on that bus because you weren't ready. And that goes to any number of things, any number of situations, not just work, relationships. We want to manifest communities. We want to manifest love. But have we done our internal work to be able to hold those things? And we're never going to be completely ready. But you will feel when you come into alignment. We often get those messages of those things that we need to do, that we need to take care of, instead of kind of turning around and looking to see, well, when is it coming? It's coming. Your question is, when am I going to be in a position to be ready to hold the blessings that are coming into my life? And so I just wanted to share that with you all. It was on my mind. It was on my spirit. It was on my heart. It spoke to me. It made me feel a lot better about, quote unquote, I don't even want to say missing out on this opportunity. It happened in this way because it was supposed to. It's supposed to show me this. It was supposed to teach me this lesson, and then allow me to move through it with ease. Allow me to spend the rest of this year really preparing, really getting myself ready for the spring. And so I will leave you all with that. Quick episode this week. Again, just a quick bonus. It was too long for me to say it all on Instagram. And so I wanted to just have this space with you all. Hopefully you all like this. I think I may do this more often, offering just some insights on my own healing journey. Like I said, I share with you all the joys. I share with you all the growth and the evolution. I also want to share with you all when things maybe don't go according to plan and how I am navigating, because I'm healing. This is a journey, and I'm pulling back the veil. So thank you all. I will talk to you all soon. That's my cat Nala saying hi. Bye, everyone. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Freed Black Girl Podcast. Remember to like, share, subscribe, leave a review, and tell a friend. Sending you much love, good energy, and peace. Until next time.
I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. I wish I could break all the chains holding me. I wish I could say all the things that I should say. Say them loud, say them clear, for the whole round world to hear. I wish I could share all the love that's in my heart